of infinite Earths, of infinite reviews, of infinite realities, of infinite recaps, starting right now.
Bust it. Shake and bake and pull it back.
Oh my God.
Hold on and get some, boys.
Mute your stuff. Hey, look where the graphics were going on. Our man Otto from the Grotto is here. Back again. Back again is my man Milton the Man. I'm gonna say what's up, party people.
What up?
Glad you could join us. I see you have some Bloodshot books there. I wonder why.
Yeah, just a little foreshadowing of what we got going on tonight.
You mean that? After the show. Right after the show, me and Manimo, and we're going to head over to Otto's channel on 3 Minute Basement. We're going to do, I haven't watched the damn trailer all day long, so it better be good because we've been waiting for the co-creator of Bloodshot. Kevin Van Hook himself is going to be with us. We're going to do a live reaction. Then we're going to ask him about it. Manimo's a huge Valiant fan, and we're going to get to the real nuts and gritty. We're going to ask what is the real, true first appearance of Bloodshot, because I have 3 issues of Ride number 0. So we're going to be seeing where he's going to go with that. So, once again, this show is sponsored by KRSComics.com. You know, we ain't got time for that. Let's just rock into it because in about 30 minutes from now is when we're going to start the show on 3 Minute Basement. So make sure you sub up 3 Minute Basement. Head over there. We're going to be interviewing Kevin Van Hook, the co-creator of Bloodshot. Him and Bob Layton created Bloodshot, if you didn't know. So this is Countdown to Crisis of Infinite Earth's reviews recaps. So we're going to talk about the shows in the Arrowverse, except for the shows from yesterday. Our week starts on Monday. So basically we're recapping Supergirl and Batwoman from not this Sunday, but the Sunday before that. So you have a whole week. So we're not really going to be spoiling stuff real time. So let's get right to it, boys and girls. Let's start off in chronological order. I'm going to let my man Milton start off. Where do we kick off? Batwoman?
So yeah, we had Batwoman comes on first on Sunday nights, the early show. Not a lot to talk about. I mean, to kind of just recap it real quick, you know, you find out a little bit more information about Alice and the relationship between her and Batwoman. We basically get some more intro. You get some more Batwoman, Batman suit upgrades, you know, that kind of stuff. She's still
actually, there was a major thing that I wanted to talk about last week that we didn't get a chance to, was revealed that her mother-in-law or stepmom is actually behind a lot of this shenanigans. You notice, remember how they have this kind of cold relationship, her and her stepmother, right? But you just thought, you know, I was like, how stereotypical. They're making her like the what do they call tiger mom, Asian moms, you know, become a doctor or lawyer or else your life sucks. So but it turns out she is turning a bit nefarious. So you know what, I think that was a saving grace of that episode, because I was right up there with you, like, man, this is kind of boring, but then they gave you a little something right at the end of Batwoman. I think we can all agree, no crisis tie-ins on this episode, correct?
Correct. Well, real quick, Otto, which ones are you watching?
You know what? I am behind on everything, you guys. So I'm watching this stuff, listening to you guys. Okay.
Actually, Otto was supposed to. Otto was taking over Justin, but Justin's having a really bad day.
He's having a real bad day.
He's having internet problems with his. He's supposed to have files like gigabit, and now he's got like dial-up.
He showed me the screenshot. He was like 4 hours he spent with them, and he's still nowhere with them. But I do want to say one thing. I watched the first Batwoman last night, and I'm hoping, and I don't want you guys to tell me more, but the Lucius Fox character, I've always been a fan of Lucius Fox. He's a great character. Is he adding on to this?
Well, it's Luke Fox.
Yeah, it's his son. Okay, it's Lucius Fox's son. Okay. So remember, this happens like Bruce Wayne is like,
right. We don't know if Lucius is around or what. We just know that.
Gotcha.
There seems to be a little bit of a contentious relationship between Luke and Lucius, though.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
First episode, he mentioned something along the lines.
So remember, this takes place in like Gotham in a different timeline, like way 30 years past probably Batman's prime. Is what they've alluded to it, and we kind of know Michael Keaton is going to be in it as a picture. So if you use that, so let's use our thinking caps here. If they're going to use that timeline, that means 1989 Batman. Think about that. Yeah. So from 1989, if you think Batman was around for another 10, 15 years after that, so he probably retired late 90s or so. So it's probably been without Batman for about 10, 15 years. So I think that's where at least I got it.
Oh, so See, I don't really think this is the same timeline or same Earth, if you will, as the Michael Keaton Batman.
I think it is, or else why would they use this picture? That's literally telling you where the timeline is.
Well,
That's
they
my
haven't
guess.
shown it yet, though, have they?
It's been teased already on the internet. That
right.
Remember, he married Selena Kyle.
Yeah, but I feel like that might. I guess we'll see. I feel like that might show up in like a different world, though, a different Earth.
Yeah, because there are different Earths, and we're going to get to that in a second. Because Arrow and Flash really shined this week. But what's next up? It was Supergirl, right? That follows Batwoman. Yeah.
So Supergirl, same thing. Not a lot going on with the Infinite Crisis storyline. Basically, we just had Supergirl dealing with Martian Manhunter's evil brother, her dealing with the new fallout between her and Lena Luthor, kind of moving down this darker realm, merging Mercy Graves with, or was it Mercy Graves? No. Tessmacher with like some AI. It wasn't anything really great. Just kind of moving the storyline, the characters. It was a little bit heavy on Brainiac's love life. That's about it, but nothing Infinite Crisis related.
What about Martian Manhunter? I'm hearing a lot of whispers about Martian Manhunter getting is he getting a push this season?
I mean, he doesn't seem like he's in it any more than he usually is. I mean, this early villain is his brother that he didn't know about. We do know that the Monitor brought him into this world. So there seems to be, it's an implication that for some reason, whatever, his brother is leading somewhere, that it's got to be some reason. So
interesting. All right. So next up on the menu, I believe is
Flash.
All right. I always get confused. Flash, Arrow. Because I remember I watched Supernatural as well, so they're all lined up for me. We could do Supernatural recaps for that season.
Supernatural.
Yeah, man. But yeah, this was just to digress a little. But the Supernatural, right now they're talking about Jack the Ripper's ghost. That's how crazy it is. But Dan, after I remember I found out about Supernatural late. I binge watched like 6 fucking seasons and I was still 3 seasons behind. You know what I mean? Because they're like on 16, 17 season now. Something
it's like 14 or I think it's the 15th season. This is the last one.
Supernatural?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's the longest running like sci-fi show of all time or
ever.
Something.
Yeah, man.
It's got a great following. I don't watch it. Shout out to you guys if you do watch it.
Oh, yeah. You'll love it.
People that I don't watch it are like fanatics.
Oh, man. If you love classic rock and just dude shit, you'll fucking love Supernatural.
The early seasons are kind of like scary too. I mean, it's like horror. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It touches everything. God, Satan, Michael, all the archangel. It does everything in the when you say Supernatural, it means literally everything horror. Pretty much Halloween comic covers every day, every episode. But we digress. If you guys want it, we'll just for Manimal to get some content, we will cover all 16 seasons in the span of the next 16 weeks. There you go. Next up is Flash, and Flash had some cool shit happening this week.
Yeah. Why don't you take this one because you watched this one?
Yes, I did. And I'm trying to remember. Now you got me on the spot. So basically
Barry went to look for answers, remember? Yeah.
So Barry goes into the Speed Force looking for answers, and he comes across a barrier that he tells him is full of antimatter. That is alluding to, I'm assuming, the anti-monitor, correct?
Sure.
Yeah. Right.
Which they teased an image of.
Correct. They tease the image of that. So, as usual, Barry goes into his giant, fucking, what are the bikes when they go in that velodrome, whatever?
Oh, I don't know. But he's got that.
You know what I'm talking about? But it's like a giant treadmill that goes in a circle, right? Then he goes, I'm going to go hop in here and I'll be right back. But, ironically, now they have, we'll talk about Arrow in a second, how they just, Cisco just gives them the device. They can just pop in and out of wherever they want to go. Right. But Flash says, I need to go back. I need to go talk to whatever Flash is from that Earth.
It's Jake Garrick. It's Earth
Jake Garrick. Yeah. So we're talking like Golden Age Flash.
Yes.
Yeah. So he goes back and he hits an anti-monitor, and then he ends up being in the world of Jake Garrett's Flash. And then he realizes his freaking wife looks exactly like his mom, and it kind of throws him for a bit. It's kind of a touching moment. You get a little bit of closure all the way back to like season 1 of him and his mom. Every DC and Marvel Silver Age hero are orphaned. They've seen their parents get killed, right? Or their uncle, if you're talking about Peter Parker. So you see a cute story about that. And what happens is Jake Garrett and his wife also have a device that allows him to travel across Earths too. So that whole thing about so the whole thing about Flash going through the Speed Force to get it. But the big mystery that's going into this episode is, what is that thing that is blocking him? and he's saying it's antimatter.
I thought you'd actually get a kick out of that episode because it's kind of almost like he stole a page out of Doctor Strange's book in Infinity War, where he sends his mind and he sees all the possible futures.
Yeah, that's right.
The only one that works is the one where he dies.
You're correct. That's exact. I immediately thought of that. I go, but you know what I always loved about Flash? It's not afraid to reference everything. I mean, we're talking Marvel, Star Wars. They literally will say things. And it's mostly Cisco. He'll say like, so this is Peter Parker's thing or something like that.
Right.
So
Cisco's
I thought about that too, because he goes, so basically I really can't describe what they were explaining because it's so out there, right? Basically, they were going to put his brain into the Speed Force, so it's thinking faster than it normally. It's like 15 million times as fast, so he can see all these different possibilities. But then he's blocked by the anti-monitor, and then I think we're going to find out this week, hopefully, with the monitor and anti-monitor. Have we figured if the monitor is chaotic good yet, or is he just chaotic neutral? If they use a D&D term.
All we've seen really is the monitor he's behind the scenes setting things up to move towards this crisis. It implies that he is trying to save the multiverse because that's why he pulls Oliver and tells Oliver, hey, look, we have to use you to do this. He's taken Lex's body. He brought Martian Manhunter's twin brother over, or not twin brother, but brother over. So he's setting things up, but we don't know. You're right. We don't really know what his motivations are.
Yeah,
I just want to get back to.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I just want to say. I mean, I'm not. Again, now I should really watch this. I should be on top of it.
You should.
Again, I go back to Crisis on Infinite Earths, the comic books. When Flash died, he ran so fast into the future that he actually died on that giant treadmill. So I don't know if that is like a connection to it or anything like that. I'm just thinking outside
it's still to me.
Yeah.
Both Arrow and Flash think they need to die.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It leans heavy that it's going to be Arrow because it's his last season, but the monitor is straight up telling Flash he's dying. And
that's why
the gravestone
Flash,
So I think it's a little bit of both, and we'll get to Arrow next, but I think it's a lot like what Marvel does in the MCU. They take whatever stories they have and they use whatever characters they have existing. So CW does the same thing. They obviously can't use Aquaman or Wonder Woman or those type of characters, but they can take the characters they have and use those comic stories, right? Cisco's not in Crisis of Infinite Earths, right? I don't think Plastic Man. Well, I think Plastic Man does have a role in.
Well, it's crazy because this arc actually is very strong in the comics with Supergirl and Flash, two of the characters they are using. So it's the perfect story. Like Arrow is really the only character that's kind of
and they're just giving Arrow, all this because kind of like his this is his Kobe tour, you know what I'm saying? This is his Kobe tour. And speaking of Arrow, solid debut of the season, man.
Awesome.
I was a bit off, and I'll let Manimal explain to it. But basically, Arrow starts off where I think is a flashback, but it's not. I don't know the name of the island where he trains to be a ninja. He's there, and he shoots through Batman's cowl. That immediately should have told me right then and there that this is not his island. This is another Earth. And sure enough, he's on Earth too.
Yeah. So we get basically harken back to the first episode of Arrow season 1, where you see instead of Deathstroke's mask, which we had in the first episode, now we have Batman. So
points. Look at that. Check out the big brain on Brad. I don't even remember that far.
He comes back. And the thing that gets really confusing here too is Earth 2 is very prominent in all the Flash and Arrow seasons. It's the same world where
who is that version of the Arrow that's in Earth 2 though?
So that's Adrian Chase. He's Prometheus from the previous regular season, Earth 1.
Yeah, because he sounds they have the same mannerisms as I guess Earth 1 Arrow, right? It's kind of funny how they go back and forth. They both say "shut up."
In the Black Siren, Black Canary, she is actually the evil Black Siren who came over to Earth 1 in like season 5 or 6 of Arrow. She then became a good guy. And in this past season, they sent her back to her world, Earth 2. We've also seen her last season in the future episodes helping out Arrow's daughter. And she's supposed to be in that new spinoff that's coming out, Green Arrow.
So what's interesting also, I don't know if they ever alluded to this on Earth 2 before, but the two of the characters that are on Team Arrow are bad guys.
So that's the big thing about the ArrowVerse Earth 2 is, and we saw it first in Flash. We saw Earth 2 is really the world where all the good guys are bad guys. We saw that was when Ronnie Raymond, Firestorm, was actually Deathstorm. That's the first time we saw Killer Frost. We had the bad Cisco. It's the world where all the heroes have an evil, like, what's the word, analogy or counterpart. So,
exactly. Yeah, it's kind of like an episode of Seinfeld where they all see their counterparts, but they're like their bizarro world version. Yeah. So what's interesting is and spoiler if you haven't seen it, but this is probably the biggest crisis thing to happen is whatever this force that they've seen or foresaw that's going to destroy the planets happens on Earth too.
We see like that anti-monitor energy you're talking about.
It's something that people, and it's very Endgame-ish, or actually it's very Infinity Wars where they get dusted away. So it was pretty cool that DC can't do it on the big screen, but CW is basically doing Infinity War and Endgame, and we just saw Earth 2 get decimated, and I think Arrow plucks
Dwarf Star Metal.
Yeah, they both. Who does he pluck out of that Earth to take with him? Just
Black Canary,
right? Yeah, just Canary. The Arrow of Earth 2 dies though, right?
Right. And so he'd been sent there by the Monitor to get Dwarf Star because it's
his brother or his best friend that would end up being the Dark Arrow in this world. He got killed too.
Tommy Merlin,
Tommy Merlin. Man, I haven't seen that dude in forever.
Merlin back?
Yeah, so
actually his father is married to his mom in Earth 2, which really throws you off.
Oh my God.
No, trust me. I think it's worth seeing it now if you haven't seen it. Go ahead.
I've been on it. You guys sold me on this. I'm all in on it. It's just about time.
I mean, so the big thing is we don't know, but the Monitor sent Oliver there to get this Dwarf Star Metal, and he had to run through the gamut of all the people who was there, and combat him, pretend to be himself, back from the island, blah blah blah, and then at the end, like TiVo was saying, they snapped out that world.
Oh, and Diggle was cool too.
Diggle and Black Canary.
No, so we think it's Diggle of Earth 2, but then they get in the car, and this harkens back to season 1, where Arrow sneaks out of the car when Diggle's driving away, and he goes, not this time.
Yeah, he tries to pull that big move. Yeah.
Then he knows Diggle says, "Oh, Cisco got me this little device that allows me to travel to this world." And just as they kind of vibe, is that what they call it? What's it?
It's just like a portal or something. Yeah.
Yeah, but Cisco's power is vibing, right? When they say they vibe through something. Yeah. So just as Earth 2 is getting decimated, so one of the 52 worlds is gone now. So New 52 is now New 51. So if you think about it that way, I think there's 52 different existences, even in CW. I think it goes from Earth 1 to Earth 52, if I'm not mistaken. But it was pretty good, man. If you're going to be watching Arrow or the Arrowverse shows, this is a season to watch it, because this is the most, because you remember last year's crossover event was kind of like, the stakes weren't that high. I was like, it's cool to see them all together, but it wasn't really fun. Yeah, it was fun. But now this is like stakes are happening.
They get better. Yeah. So another thing we didn't talk about in Flash that was kind of cool, had a little Easter egg there. You saw Jay Garrick was showing him a map of the multiverse. And if you pause it and you look around, you kind of see a few things. And one of the things you see is a shout out to the original Mr. Miracle, Thaddeus Brown.
I actually have a picture here because I was trying to, I've paused it, the map that Jay Garrett pulls out. I'm trying to like, okay, what does everything say? I said, God damn it, I didn't get a good enough screenshot. I'm pretty sure somebody on the internets did, but I'm stoked for this week. It's the first time I can say that in a long time about all of the Arrowverse shows. So for those of you who are not watching Monday Night Football, by the way, the trailer doesn't drop till halftime. So there you go. So we'll watch that. But come join 3 Men in the Basement right now. I left the live chat in there. We're going to go hop over to Otto's channel. We're going to do our live reaction to the Bloodshot trailer with Bloodshot co-creator Kevin Van Hook. We got to go bring him on right now. Make sure he's all tied away. So see you guys over on 3 Men in the Basement. Until next time, boys and girls, keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.
Shake and bake and pull it back.